What's up everyone? Today we're going to be doing the low APM challenge. I'm going to be challenging players, trying to play with low APM and seeing if I can beat them. We're going to start at Diamond. If we win, we're going to go to Master, High Master, and then GM. If we somehow beat a normal Grandmaster with low APM, I'll be trying to ask a pro to play against them. Let's begin. Alright, here we go. Our first opponent is going to be a Diamond Zerg player. Now, as you can see, I've equipped the APM console here, so you can see what my APM is. Now, just to clarify what low APM means, some of you are definitely going to get angry at me for this, but I'm going to be trying to play with an average of 100 APM, which realistically, I'm not sure if I can reach it. I actually tried it once in a ladder game, and I really struggled to stay below 100 APM. And I know there's a lot of you that play with 100 APM or less normally. Don't worry. I think a really big factor when it comes to APM is just the speed of decision making. So it doesn't, like, of course, if you have fast hands it helps, but I think the things that helps the most is just knowing what to do instantly. Like, I can play my entire build on autopilot without needing to think even a second about what I need to do. And I feel for a lot of people, they would spend like half a second or so deciding what build they're gonna do. Should I actually make that second refinery here, etc.? And it just costs a lot of APM and time. Now, when I tried it, I think my APM average was 120. So I should be able to get that. Now there I already double clicked. Probably shouldn't do that. Made two SCVs at once. But yeah, there's a few things I know I can do. Like, you absolutely cannot kite with units. I should not be making a Reaper or a Hellion. When I scout, I'm going to be shift clicking it. And hopefully I can manage to explain you guys what kind of decision making you can make that can help you win games with low APM. Now, like I said, my first opponent is a Diamond Zerg. I'm going to be trying to go up and up as I beat better and better players. Now, the build I'm going for here is just going to be a reactor first. I'm really, like, it's actually really hard for me. I feel like, doing commentary here is harder for me than it is normally because I'm really making a big effort to play slowly. If you guys are curious, my average APM is normally 350. You see there I'm going over 100. Now, if I happen to go over 100 APM, is no big deal. I'm going to be trying to keep my APM as 100. If my APM would be 125 at the end, so I'm okay with it as long as it's above 150. If it's above 150, I would try to remake the game and do it because that's just a little bit too fast. But yeah, we'll see. Definitely gonna be a hard challenge for me to try to stay below 100 here. I feel like already a few times you saw my APM spike up to 117. Now for this challenge, I double clicked again. Okay, I'll try to focus. For this challenge, that was 150. What was I gonna say? I totally forgot what I was talking about. I do that all the time. Like, I swear, this is the hardest challenge I've done so far for me. This is crazy. Alright, I wanted to say, I didn't tell my opponent what my challenge is. I just told them I was playing with a handicap, and I wanted them to figure it out and ask them after the game. But my opponent said instantly, he was watching my stream when I tried this, and he said instantly, I don't think it's gonna matter that much if you play with low APM. So I guess he definitely knows what my challenge is already. So that is, that is something. Now, up until this point, I'm obviously able to execute my build properly. A really big thing of playing with low APM is always having your units in position in advance. So I do not want to, like, have to react to an overlord or something. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift click it here. Make sure this one counters an overlord. Get one here to counter an overlord. And then I should actually have kept this depot lower. That was a little bit of an APM mistake by me. But I'm going to rally my units on this depot so it doesn't get picked off. I'm actually definitely going to change that unit positioning at some point. Let's see, what can I do better? I'm going to rally some of my Marines here, and then the rest on the high ground. I see my APM is going quite high here. Besides not doing any spam, I definitely need to tone down my speed by about 2 or 3 times as well. That's what's making this difficult. Let's see. Now, you see, even if I'm doing stuff like just lifting a bit too fast, it spikes up to 200, so I definitely need to be really careful with that. And this is a very, very difficult challenge. I think some people suggested I try 50 APM. As you guys can probably tell, I cannot do 50 at all. There's just always a few little details I want to fix. Like, I want that rally point to be the other side of the mineral line from this SCV, you know? Or from my main command center, rather. Now, the best way to play low APM and still harass is to make a battle cruiser. So that's what I'm going to do. See, my APM is spiking a little bit, so I need to tone it down. Let's get all my guys on the low ground. I did waste a click there by not having my starport rallied. There we go. Now, this build is actually a very strong build. It's not. This is actually the perfect build for a low APM challenge. If you guys have not seen, I mean, most of you definitely haven't seen this. This was like my 5th video ever on my channel. I used to try a mouse-only challenge. And this is the build I would use because it's relatively easy to execute. You don't have to micro like too many units and stuff. So it's just nice. Now I need to be careful to not micro too much. I feel like microing too much is something I would 100% do. So I'm just going to try and A-move this. And then try to macro back at home. Let's see, I just do need my Widow Mines here. And a retargeted mine, that is something I don't want my all my units to blow up just to, you know, a simple mine here. I'm really not trying to do any micro. I do need to check my APM after the game as well. And let's keep my medevacs with my guys over here. Looks like I'm already managing to kill my opponent with one simple drop here. So the APM definitely not super impactful this early in the game, it would seem like. There we go. There's a few too many. So I'm still alive. I might lose to those queens. Like the thing is, ooh, you should transfuse that. No transfuse there. No micro. I guess that's what the challenge is. I mean, it looks like it, but no, he was actually right. Okay, now I'm gonna fly away and just go back home. Now, I wasn't looking at my APM counter during all of that, so I'm not quite sure if I actually managed. Let's see. Always fixing my rallies is important. Let's get 2 extra factories up. I wonder if it looks... how do I put this? I wonder if it looks like I'm playing like a slower player. Or if it just looks like I'm just holding back all the time. You know what I mean? It's probably more of the second if I had to guess. Like, it is really hard to look like a slower player there. I guess we still need... What do we still need? An armory. I'll get 2 armories. Now, definitely one tip I can give for low APM players, guys. Mech. Even though I don't think mech is easier than bio, mech definitely requires less APM. That is one thing that's for sure. Even if I'm playing like my max speed, if I am playing mech, I definitely have less APM than I normally would. Ooh, I saw like 250 APM there. That's not great. Now with the battlecruiser, if you have low APM, you want to make sure you make like strong decisions, I guess. So normally, I'm just gonna make an example. Normally, I would always be microing like this, right? But if you're like playing with a BC and you have low APM, you really just want to be making one click. Do not spend time looking at it that you don't have to, because a battlecruiser is a very safe harassment. And just gotta like click it back and forth over the mineral line until you have to escape. Like that. Let's get my armories going here. And it seems like it's still fine, so I can just leave it there. Always make sure to have the rally on the depot that is close. There we go. Even doing stuff like repair the medevacs is very useful here. And this is the best thing about the battlecruiser, like you can see. It's a very strong harassment tool. And it really stays alive. I mean, now it's actually going to die most likely. Yeah, I said it a bit too long, but I was going to say it really stays alive for a long time without needing to babysit it. So I always recommend, if you want to do some easy harassment, definitely choose a battlecruiser. If you're going to play with like Banshees or something, that is super, super difficult. Now I'm wondering how I can set up some harassment without, you know, spending too much APM on it. I think my best choice is probably going for some kind of hellbat drops. You see how I'm setting up my base defenses. This is all basic stuff you can do. Also, one thing, I'm going to tell this because I see it in my students a lot. It is totally fine to just do something like this. If you're like a little bit slower, you have too much money, there's absolutely no problem at all just queuing those things. Like, it's really fine. Like, even like this, queuing like 2 tanks on each factory. If you have a lot of money, just do it. It's actually totally fine. I know a lot of people try to get perfect, you know, macro and all that, but realistically, it's just totally fine to queue a few units here and there. You can also similarly just make a lot of depots at once. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. That shift click died, but my other medevac is probably going to get in. Now I'm getting close to being able to do a 2-2 or a 1-1 timing rather. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hold position these. Hopefully so they shoot the drones a little bit. They are killing a few drones. And I'm going to A-move across. Now, if you have a lot of speed to spare, you can always be looking at like all your stuff easily, right? But if you're a little bit slower, it's totally fine to just ignore stuff sometimes. Like, my opponent spent all of his APM dealing with that drop, while I was already busy A-moving over the map here. Let's see, don't quite have enough units. Wait, if you do... Oh, that's actually sick. If you don't have money to make a unit, it also doesn't cost an APM, even though you press the button. I'm gonna see all my tanks in a good spot. There we go. And then I can look back at my main base again. Probably close this depot. Make sure I have everything, like, locked up. Probably get another turret here on the left side. Unsiege the tanks. Always good to scan forward, see what your opponent has. There you go. Now, I have to say, this game is going well. I am very afraid for playing against a potential Grandmaster, though. That actually sounds like it would be terrifying. I'm just shift-clicking around a little bit. I did try to get these Hellbats to stay with the siege tanks. Didn't actually want those to go back. Not pretty sure I just F2'd on accident there, something like that. Put a scan to kill the creep, always useful. And saturate my bases. And I really feel like what I'm noticing in my own play, since I'm playing with low APM, the thing I'm negliging the most is looking at my army. I'm getting my army in a good spot, and then I'm just leaving it there while macroing. And it does seem to be the 100% best approach, because I'm 100% sure I had more supply than my opponent all this time by far. And even if I would have traded a little bit inefficiently, it probably would have been totally fine. And you see, especially if you play units like mech, my army is doing totally fine anyway without it being babysitted. Or babysat. That sounds like a really weird word. I don't even know what it is. Babysitted also sounds weird. Oh, I even saved the battle cruiser. There we go. Now that is lucky. You know, I'm not able to look at my army all the time. That was actually just an accident. Now we're gonna go again. Let's see if he has hidden bases around the map. Doesn't quite have them. Always get your bases to the planetaries as well. And as soon as you're in range, you can siege. Click a few Hellbats to stay with your tanks like this. So they're gonna protect you from the siege tanks. And then you can go back to looking at home. It's actually, in cases like this, it's better to even make Hellbats directly instead of Hellions. You can actually do that if you have an armory. But it's a function that I've always forgotten about. Like, I've actually... I think I could probably count it on 2 hands the amount of times I made a Hellbat directly from the factory, to be honest. Even though it is actually a very useful function. Now, my 2-2 is a little bit late, but it's gonna be fine. Now, with these Thors, I should be able to... Where's the army, actually? I thought the army would be, like, right there. Let me just move across with the army now. Mech army obviously very strong when it's maxed with upgrades. Now there were some Bailings, but I pretty much only had tanks there, so it's not gonna matter. And with this army we're gonna be able to finish the game, which is fantastic. So we're not gonna end this video in just one game. That is really nice. Now I do wonder what my average APM is. I wonder if you guys can guess it at this point. Do you guys think you can guess what my average APM was this game? I would say it is probably slightly above 100, but I'm not 100% sure. Now I'm gonna check the replay at 12:10 because now I don't have to do anything anymore. There we go. We can rewind here. Go back about... maybe I'll go back to like 11 minutes because at some point I stopped doing a lot of actions here. Let's see. Average APM 95. Okay, so we actually managed to do it. That is the slowest I've ever played, I think, as far as I remember at least. So that is nice. We managed to even stay below 100. My goal is just to stay around 100. Like I said, if I have 125, it's completely fine. But the fact that he went below 100 for the first game is fantastic. Now I'm going to ask him if he realized what my challenge was, and I'll see you guys in the next game. Alright, here, second game is going to be against the Masters Terran. I think there's a pretty big MMR gap between this player and the last person. I think it was about 800 MMR. So this is going to be a lot different, and it's a TVT instead of a TVZ, which does scare me a little bit, because in TVT, there's very often those kind of weird early aggression build orders that is kind of hard to counter without micro, but to be fair, it is about the average. So if I need to use a lot of APM to defend an attack, as long as I play slow for the rest of it, it should be okay. A little bit of a misclick there. Now, this map actually has... it's not... Oh, I was holding my S key on accident. This map has... It sounds a bit weird to put it this way. But it has a little bit of a low APM feature built in the fact that you can take this back base and you never have to look at it again. So that is fantastic. I'm definitely going to play mech, I think. I would love to get a bio game in there. Maybe if one of my next challengers is going to be a Protoss. I could totally try to play a bio game. Obviously, mech is not great against Protoss, but with bio, I really wonder how I would stay below 100 APM. Like, that actually sounds incredibly difficult. Now, in TVT, we have to scout. So what I'm going to do is... I'm actually just going to shift-click it all, pretty much. See, actually, does jumping take APM? Oh, it takes a little bit of APM, looks like. Okay. I was curious, like, if you want to play with... This is actually a bit of a trick, because I want to show you guys what it's like to play with low APM. So you can do tricks like this and just go all the way back to your base, but, like, it's... In reality, it takes more speed, right? So it's probably just a bad thing to do. And it's not actually a low APM thing, it's just that the game doesn't register it. But I guess it is a nice trick. Well, let's get a depot down there. There we go. Or maybe it's because I'm double selecting. No, it does actually take a bit of APM. Huh, okay, interesting. So my opponent's probably going to go for a double gas here, looks like. I'm also going for a double gas. Now, I'm going to do a very passive TVT opener, so I think I'm gonna go with Tank Viking. Like, if you play with low PM against Terran, if you don't like have the, you know, the speed to be microing. Oh, I was spamming my SCV again. If you don't have the speed to be microing against like all these early game stuff, it is really good to just open with a build that naturally counters everything. Or every aggression, I have to say. Obviously not everything else. That sounds like something you would do every game. But it's really good to open with a build that is, for example, Tank Viking. So you have a counter for the air, and you have a counter for the ground at the front. And then, obviously, in TVT, there's always going to be times where you have to react, because it's just a really difficult matchup to cover everything in. In fact, I would say it's even impossible without having to react. So, yeah. I feel like the least we can do is just cover as many things as possible. Now I'm going to follow the most standard TVT formula I can. So I'm going to go with a Cyclone, a Raven. Though Ravens might be... Yeah, Raven is probably a little bit questionable, because Raven is going to take me a lot of speed to use. I also know from coaching that a lot of you guys, Diamond Masters, you name it, freaking hate using Ravens. So maybe it fits with the theme of the video to not use Ravens at all. I do wonder what the average... Actually, if someone has those stats, I would be super curious. Does someone have the stats of what the average APM is per league? Like, I'd be really curious to see. Oh, this is going to be a difficult one. I think I'm just going to back off from this. Not do too much micro, of course. And I'm just going to wait for my Cyclone to come out. And the Cyclone will take care of it. Probably should have made a bunker there. That would have definitely helped out a little bit in defending this stuff. Now, can I defend... Yeah, I can defend with my next two Marines. One Cyclone probably does not take care of this, but together with the few Marines I'm gonna have is gonna be okay. He's gonna go for it. I'm actually gonna pull it back a little bit. Not do too much micro, but a little bit should be fine. Let's see. There we go. Oh, he's actually gonna let me kill the Hellion, I think. That is fantastic. Now, I probably did spend a good amount of APM in that fight, but nothing too crazy. And we did kill the 5 units after all, which is fantastic. Now, I'm a little bit worried that we lose a game this early, because I would love to challenge a High Master. This is a Low Master, by the way. I would love to challenge a High Master as well. Or, you know, potentially a Grandmaster. Now, the Grandmaster is definitely gonna be tough to get to that point, but the least we can do is try. Just some mules here. I do feel like I got better. I'm actually going to use this Reaper to scout, just like shift-clicking it around the base like that, so I don't have to look at it again. It is always a good move. It's the same with any kind of harassment tool, by the way. If you do any kind of harassment, like, let's say a Liberator, for example, the best way to do it is just click it here, shift-click it here, and then shift-siege it, and then you can do whatever you want without looking at it again. Like, it's actually... You would be surprised how much you can replicate a player that's twice as fast as you just by using good tools like shift-clicking everything. Now, this Reaper really bugged out super hard. It's a little bit unfortunate. But we saw the timing of the third command center there, so that's already pretty good knowledge. Now, I'm gonna pre-spread my tanks in all the bases. You never know when, like, a drop is gonna hit. I actually did end up making a Raven. Guys, I can't help it, okay? Raven, I've explained it a few times, I think, but in TVT, playing without Ravens quite literally does not exist on pro level. So, yeah. I'm actually gonna use it to harass. Just try to drop a turret now and then. Probably shouldn't take me too much APM, but might be a nuisance for my opponent, so I do like that idea. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle the late game yet. Normally in late game you also make a lot of Ravens in TVT. Like in TVT you make so many Ravens, like you actually wouldn't even believe me. You can go up to 20 Ravens in TVT and it would still be good. So yeah, that is definitely going to take me a little bit too much APM. So I'm just going to show you how to do it. You can just shift click it like that and click the Raven back to safety. And then if he does happen to have a depot there or something, that's a shame, but then you can look back again later anyway. So no problem at all. Let me just get a second factory down. And you see right now on the minimap I'm getting some harassment done, and I don't even have to look at it, which is fantastic. Probably didn't kill too much. I actually got three kills with that, you see? Didn't look at it, just shift click it. I could have shift clicked all the way from the start as well, without even looking at it, but I still got 3 kills, which is awesome. I'm just gonna keep dropping mules. There's one thing... Ooh, I saw 280 APM. I guess I must have been spamming on accident. One thing that is a little bit APM intensive in TVT that you kind of have to do is that you have to split Marines over the map. And I think in some ways it's also going to save APM. The biggest point why you have to do it is in TVT, it's very easy to just die to one siege position. If my opponent... okay, there he's already going for it. Now, I'm pretty in position, so it's probably going to be fine. But yeah. You cannot just get siege without knowing it. It's always really rough. So now that Marine was perfectly in time. I saw his attack coming. Now, he might still siege me here. Oh, he has a lot of ravens. Let me bring over my turrets. Probably pull my SCVs for this. Mostly just so my tanks stay alive. And now I can pull it back. And I can... You know, it's taking me a lot of my APM to do this, to be fair. But as long as we stay alive, it's going to be okay. Now, at this point, it might be good for me to consider getting Liberators as well. You see, I have a lot of siege tanks. I did lose a lot of workers there, so that attack was definitely hard to hold off. But I might be able to do my own push. I think it's actually a good idea. Like, we lost so many SCVs. But I do think we killed all the ravens. So I'm just going to try to do my own attack here. Let's see if I can get these gases saturated. Obviously, I'm playing a very gas-heavy style. Now, one tip. Oh, I actually forgot I had this. Guess I'll just drop some turrets to distract. There we go. This is actually a really well-timed distraction. It wasn't on purpose, to be honest. I forgot I had it. But it's a really well-timed distraction. It also distracted me because I forgot what I was talking... Oh, no. I remember. A really big tip I can give you guys is to hotkey your siege tanks. I see no one do it, but you want to be able to siege your tanks instantly like this. Oh, this looks like an amazing fight, actually. Yeah. I can even land the Vikings here. I'm not going to do too much target fire. Just a little bit, but that fight was actually amazing. There we go. Just because I sieged in time, I actually won that fight. If I would have sieged 3 seconds later, this would have been just a fair fight. But instead, we absolutely destroyed him there, which is fantastic. Now, I would recommend that you don't rally across the map too much. Like, it's usually pretty good to just go back to your base and grab your reinforcements. Like, let's say, you saw he had medevacs, right? Let's say he would have sent a double drop through my base. If I was just rallying across the map, you need to spend so much APM to, like, gather all your forces and send them back to your base and attack at the same time. Like, it's just incredibly difficult. So it's better to just, like, rally here somewhere. Usually in your main, sometimes in your natural. Just as long as it's, like, in a safe place. And then you can grab your reinforcements easy. I'm going to take another position here. I'm just gonna... I know I have the air control, so I can patrol my Vikings like this to keep it. And that's already gonna be it. GG. Now, I do suspect I definitely went over 100 APM in this game. 106. Okay, that's very reasonable, right, guys? Like, I defended the aggression. It was not very clean, but 106 APM is totally fine. This is a Master's Terran. Actually, I'm very happy with this. I thought at some point we were in trouble. Let's go back to one of the important moments. I think it was right here. When he pushed me, here you can see how good the Ravens are, by the way. I'm very proud of Harold. If you're watching this, you're making Ravens at TVT. That's amazing. I think he didn't keep them alive, which was the big problem. But here you can see, disabling every single tank, and then he can just go in and kill everything. But here, the Ravens should fly away. You gather more energy and you go. And you can see the average APM. I had 97 APM against 226, and it still ended up being a win for me. So there you can see that if you make the right decisions, even if you play it slow, you can totally win, which is fantastic. Now, obviously, this was only a low Masters Terran. It's still good. Now I'm going to try to find a higher Masters player. But very happy with this one. Let's try the high Masters. All right, here we go. Game number 3. This is going to be an impossible challenge. If you guys don't know Kerwin, my friend Kerwin, he was a... I think he reached 5.3k MMR at some point. And I feel like I haven't played for a little bit, so maybe he's more like 5k. But that is still easily Grandmaster on NA, so that is going to be very scary, but we'll see. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, if my opponents guessed the challenge. My first opponent was actually very close. What my first opponent thought I was doing was, A, not microing, and B, like just getting my units in position and not doing anything else. Like just letting them do the work from like a positional kind of play. My second opponent was really off. Like, I think he had no idea. He guessed, like, I took a very late base, is what he said. Maybe I took the back base first. Some kind of challenge like that, but obviously that was pretty far off. Now, for this point, for this game, I'm going to take a slightly different approach. I think I'm going to have to do a slightly greedier build to match my opponent, like strategically, trying to get a little bit further ahead compared to the last game. So I'm going to go for a Reaper Expand. I'm still going to scout at 16.5. This is a very safe scout to do. There we go. I'm just gonna shift click around his base and then shift click it back. I probably... oh, I accidentally read it to the gas. I probably don't need to scout that deep, but it's just gonna be nice to get free info, right? Anyway, if I'm already playing with low APM, I might as well know exactly what I need to react to. Now, there's one thing you actually can... I haven't realized if I was doing it before, but one thing you cannot do with low APM is like stacking the SCVs. Let me just show you. Normally, you would always try to get 2 on these outer mineral patches, and I'm not sure if I was doing it on purpose or not. That's actually funny. Those are just habits that I wouldn't be able to control anyway. Now, I definitely made some unnecessary clicks here. That's a bit unfortunate. I think this SCV already shows him that I want to Reaper expand. And this shows me that he has walled off his main. So he is most likely doing a double gas build. Now, it's going to be pretty good for me, or at least I wouldn't say good, it's just normal, but I'm going to Reaper expand, I'm going to get more workers than him. I just need to make sure to survive. And it is a pretty big map after all, so his attack is going to hit a little bit later. The biggest problem is going to be that I'm going to use Hellions to survive, but I can't really micro them to the, you know, most, what do you call it, most potential. So I'm going to have to be very careful with how I micro those. But besides that, I do think my builder is going to be pretty good. I do wonder to what extent you can actually afford attacking with low APM. Like, I know for you guys, if you do play on a relatively low APM, like a less than 100. I know some people can play with 30, by the way. It all doesn't matter. You know, whatever you play at, just try to get better step by step and you'll be fine. But I do wonder... Oh, I was spamming a little bit too much there. I do wonder to what extent you can actually attack. If you have a low APM and you're not able to macro that well... is it really worth it attacking unless you have like a really big army for the most part? I'm not sure about it. Now, I definitely noticed this game I'm doing a few more unnecessary clicks. Like I keep like double clicking my factory like that. So I do need to be careful with that. So let's just set the rally on the ramp. That is the safest place it could be. If I do need to react to a drop in the main, it's probably still going to be fine. Go. And I think I'm going to go for... Actually, I'm going to do a new build that I haven't done before. Just because I think it would fit really well with the low APM challenge. I'm not sure why I just got 200 APM for making an orbital. Maybe I was holding a key on accident, I'm not sure. But I'm actually going to go 4 Hellions into Viking tank. So with this build, I will be able to defend all early aggression. Let me just see if there's anything in front of my base. And yeah, I feel like I still have a good economy. I have some map control. I'm actually going to try to send this Reaper across. There we go. I think I'm macroing a little bit too fast, maybe. So I'll try to pull it back a little bit. And then just as always, I'm going to try to keep my units in positioning beforehand. So you see how I'm rallying the Viking here already, so I don't have to control it. Rallying my tank to my natural. Did forget to rally my... what is it? My CC there for a second, so that's annoying. And let's just pull these back to the main base. A Reaper is going to deal some damage on the other side. And then slowly I'll just try to siege this tank here. There we go. He's gonna run away from the tank because the tank is very good against those units. Probably save this Reaper as well. And I think this was a... You know, I lost a few SCVs, but in the end, it's gonna be perfectly fine. Keep in mind, I played Reaper Expand, so I'm gonna have more SCVs than him. And now I'm gonna do something a little bit crazier. I'm gonna try to shift-click these into his main base. Or into his natural, rather. Oh, it looks like his Hellions are still there. Oh, he's actually gonna... Oh, that's really good for us. I'm gonna target the middle one. So there's some workers in my main. Let's just F2 there. There we go. Maybe I can land this Viking here as well. It's probably not going to be too meaningful, but any damage I can get is nice. That was a cool move by him. And those kind of moves, you can tell he's already making a lot of moves that are, you know, making it difficult for me to play with low APM. Because I just simply wasn't able to keep up with being attacked on 2 spots. That's something my opponents haven't done until now. But you could tell that I instantly struggled and my SCV count is pretty low. And undoubtedly I went over the APM limit by trying to react to all of that. I'm sure about it. So you can already tell like these... I mean, I think you can pretty much call them a Grandmaster Terran. But even if you call them a High Master, you can tell they make it really, really difficult for me. It's I was kind of low-key hoping I would get really lucky against the Grandmasters. And get to play against a pro, and then you would really get to see me get torn apart by someone just dropping me all over the place, and it would have been pretty sick. Okay, I did make a Raven. I'm probably going to use it to harass again. Oh, that tank is very nice. You actually can't really kill that tank, because I can drop a turret next to it. Oh, I might kill it with good micro. The repair is a little bit too strong. Oh, wow, that's well done by him. Gotta give it to him. Let's F2 on there. I think he probably has defenses in his natural, so I'm not going to try to... harass it right away. I'm gonna try to harass with my Ravens, however. It's actually really big that he sniped the tank, by the way. That's not damage you would normally get. And yeah, my APM is definitely getting way too high here, guys. I was at 200 for a lot of that. So we really need to be careful here. Try to get the average back down. Now we might be getting pushed at the front. If you get scanned, you always need to be careful. Because if they scan, they might be attacking you. I say as I move the Raven out in vision of the scan. Not my smartest move ever, guys, I'll be honest, but it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. Now, I was pretty sure my tank in the main was going to be enough against the Reapers to scare him away, but he actually went for it. Normally, if you would respond a bit faster, that move is not the greatest. So I think at this point, like, he's a smart guy. I definitely think he's aware of what I'm doing here. He knows. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if he guesses that I'm playing mouse only, by the way. Oh, we're actually being attacked here. Let me pull the SCVs just like last time. I'm actually gonna pull the SCVs here and kind of just like F2 everything. And let's see if I can defend. I still have a lot of... I think I am actually defending this. I'm just losing 1 million workers for it. That's the problem. Let me land these SCVs. And I mean, it is going to be a pretty successful hold. Like, I lost a lot of SCVs. I'm definitely behind. But the fact that I'm alive is pretty nice, actually. I'll put on another turret. There we go. And then go back to rebuilding my base mainly. Let me get the orbital first. He's not... Wait, I held S again. I saw my APM at 300 almost. I think it does happen that I hold S on accident a few times. Oh, that has 2 turrets. I did not see that, I'll be honest. I thought it was 1 turret in there. That is completely my bad. Now let's resaturate these gases. This game, I mean, I've said it a few times, I'm 100%, I think, way over 100 APM on average, so that is a little bit rough. Now what I'm gonna do here is just try to take a position here. So I'm sure I'm gonna shift-click that already in advance, and then basically hold this position. And then just rally back at home like I would normally. Oh, he's also playing mech, kind of like me, seems like. Maybe I should siege a tank in advance here in this base. Siege this one in advance as well. Wait, I can't hit much more than that. Wait, this tank is actually stuck. I couldn't siege it there for some reason. Here we go. Let me just do a quick scan. I have more Vikings than him. But it's actually crazy for landing that. That's actually a little bit of an insane move by him. Now, I do need to run away with these very soon. I think the time has actually come now. Oh, I got the factory though. That is huge. And let's just F2 back to the base. Try to get my 3rd base going. That should all be pretty good. Now, I do have more Vikings than he does, I believe. Just not here, right? Just not present. So that is what matters the most. Let me try to get some defensive turrets up. So I don't have to react to like a Liberator or something later. I do have a really good amount of siege tank. And I killed this factory, which is really huge. So notice how I keep hotkeying the tanks and the Vikings. It's just going to make it easier for me to control them rather than clicking them in the fight, right? That is always really hard to do. I'm going to try to set a rally here. And, I should have hotkeyed them all on the same hotkey too. If you guys are wondering, actually, that's how I hotkey my stuff. In TVT, you can put everything on the same hotkey because you want to move your army as one. But then at the same time, you want to hotkey the things separately. So you notice how I have my tanks, Vikings separate. And I also have them on the same one. That is usually how I want to do it. And we have actually done it. Guys, I feel like we keep winning in the same way. This was a 5k Terran we beat. And it's really just... holding the attacks is just incredibly difficult. Now, I'm afraid to see my APM. Okay, 123. Very fair. I really thought we might have broken the 150 limit, but 123. We beat, I would say, a basically Grandmaster. I'm still going to play a gem because we won. But we beat a 5k Terran roughly with 123 APM. That is fantastic. But you can see we keep winning in the exact same way, which is that we're kind of getting owned in the early game. But then at some point, we just take a good decision. You know, I know when to attack. I took a good position with the tanks, and I don't even really have to micro in the fight. I think winning this game with 123 APM is awesome. Now let's find a Grandmaster to play against. I'm a little bit scared, but let's do it. Alright, here we go. We're going to be playing against a Grandmaster Protoss. It's a master border, but I can confirm from his MMR he is a GM. Just doesn't have enough games for the requirement. I think he would be around rank 100 Grandmaster or so, maybe a little bit higher. Oh, I actually split my SCVs there. That was a little bit of a mistake. To be honest, it did take me a while to find a Grandmaster to play against, so I might be a little bit rusty again. And it's also our first Protoss, guys, and I'm really curious because I think I mentioned it at some point. I'm not quite sure how you can play a TVP with low APM because it feels like there's a lot of micro involved, a lot of kiting and stuff. So instead of kiting, I'll have to rely on doing timing pushes. Probably skip the Reaper, go for a reactive first kind of thing. My first idea was to play a 3-rack, so I am pretty curious about that. Now, my last opponent, guys, I told you he would guess that I'm playing mouse only, and that is actually what he guessed. So he was probably the closest so far because my APM And no kidding, guys. My APM playing here, so staying around 100. Last game I had 123, I believe, is a little bit slower than my mouse only. If I play mouse only, I believe my APM was about 140. So it's a very good guess. He was 20 APM off, I guess, but it does make a little sense because I feel like I'm the kind of cheeky guy to go for some mouse only games. Ooh, I was spamming right click on my SCV there. Should keep in mind to not do that. Just gonna A-move one SCV so I don't need to micro too much later. Oh, the SCV is bugged a little bit. There you go. The pathing didn't look quite good. Now, should I scout? I think I'm even going to skip the scouting here because I'm going to play reactor first, which is pretty safe. Try to not micro my SCVs too much. I'm not even sure if he saw the reactor, actually. I'm not sure if he saw that. It would be nice if he didn't. Now, normally you would micro the SCVs by cutting off the probe. I'm not going to be too try-hard with it because that's obviously going to take a lot of APM. Here we go. Get a command center down. Set the rally already. And you see my APM spiked a little bit, but now I already did a bunch of things I don't have to do in the future, like clicking this SCV on that mineral patch and rallying there and stuff. So that is going to save me a bit of APM. Now my camera hotkey was not working there for a second. Let's see. No, I did put it correctly. Okay. So then I'm going to rally my Marines on this ramp. If you play reactor first... Oh, I was right-clicking again, 300 APM. Oops. If you rally on the ramp, I'm not going to have to worry about looking there again later. If you're not playing reactor first, you have to be a little bit more careful because you usually have one Marine and then 3. But with reactor first, you have your Marines so fast, you actually don't really have to be afraid of getting hit by anything. So this map, I actually purposely chose it because it has a ramp. It's a lot harder to defend stuff if you play on maps without ramp, so that is my my plan here. Let's see, did I rally this already? There we go. You see, if you guys are curious how to do the saturation properly, you always want to go until you have 16 out of 16 on the minerals, and then you saturate the next base already. And now at 3 ranks is a very straightforward build I'm doing. I'm basically gonna make stim and combat shields and hit a timing attack. Now this is gonna take me a little bit of APM. That's annoying. Yeah, okay. I'll just use 3 Marines for that. I did save that base, or finish that barrack, sorry. That's the most important. I'm not quite sure why the depot blocked. Maybe it was an SCV on it or something. I'm not 100% sure. I'm okay with letting him escape. Maybe he won't be able to even. There we go. And we're gonna kill that adept relatively simply. It's always the easiest to just click units on the target instead of like, you know, really trying hard and microing your Marines, because if you're not that fast, you will bank, yeah, sometimes an enormous amount of minerals doing that, so you might as well take the easy approach here. Now, what sucks is that he saw it's at 3 racks, and 3 racks are pretty easy to counter if you know it's coming, basically, so that's going to be rough for us. Now, let me pre-position my units in case it is Oracle. I should have done it a little bit faster. Keep in mind we want to react to as little things as possible. So I'm just going to keep my units in position already. There we go. Now normally I would make an eBay here. Now actually I'm going to stick with the eBay. You want to make a turret against DTs. You want to get your +1. And then after this I'll get my factory up. And that should be fine. Actually the hotkey is almost overlapping the APM counter a little bit. You guys see that? Like the box is a little bit... not quite, but it looks like it a little bit. And let's get a factory. Second gas. And then as soon as I have my 2 Marauders, I'm gonna go and attack him. 1 Marine is gonna go forward, just in case it is Oracle. And then I'm gonna rally back on my ramp. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. He is, let's see, how can I deal with this without spending too much APM? I'm actually gonna go to this high ground here. Launch some more mules, there we go. Okay. Yeah, he's actually following me. That's well done by him. I have to admit, guys, this is a really good move against 3 racks, that you just stand in front of your opponent's base, because Marines obviously, you know, can't do that much when you're just being kited. So I'm gonna go across the map, and I'm just gonna stim a few units to attack this, make him blink back, and that should be good enough. There we go. You see, I'm not doing too much micro. Try to right-click one of those stalkers, maybe the other one. And then if he recalls, that would be the best move by him. You can tell it's already very hard for me to keep up with what he's doing, guys. This is a mid-GM Protoss, and I'm not faring super well so far. Now I need to make a really fast decision in attacking. You see, he throws down the battery. We're just going to do 1 click back and go back to our base to make our buildings. And it looks like we might be getting semi-all-in here with a 4 gate. So maybe I can get 1 more Stalker there. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be a really hard hold. Not sure if I can hold this with limited APM. I'm gonna have to get 2 bunkers down. In general, his build is very good against 3 racks, so it's a little bit of an unfortunate choice, but it is what it is. So what I'm going to have to do here is defend both my main and my natural, but I have stim already, which means that I can basically just keep my units in F2 and stim wherever he attacks me, and that's like the only action that I should be doing with my army. I can have some in bunkers, there we go. Have another in bunkers, and then the rest can be in the main base here. Need to be careful to not go over the APM limit. Like, I think TVP in some way is really good for the low APM challenge, and in some ways it isn't. Let me explain why. TVP, the fights are usually... You micro them in a different way. In TVP, the fights are more likely making a big concave and attacking, rather than splitting against banelings. But at the same time, I am forced to play bio, which is really hard when you're limited on APM, right? So that's the hard thing. But the fights, for the most part, unless I play against... If I play against disruptors, then I'm going to have to do some magic splits. And that is definitely going to be very challenging. But if it's no disruptors, I think there should be a decent chance. Now, I'm going to attack again at some point, probably when I have like a few mines out. In TVP, you can definitely play very methodical and just choose your timings one by one. First move out was with the 3 racks, didn't really work out. And the second move out is going to be when I have some Widow Mines. I'm just going to get some basic turrets up against a Warp Prism. Make life a little bit easier. Now, I am surprised that he did not attack me, I have to say. I mean, he pushed me at the front, but that was really all he did, right? So, normally if you play what seems like to be a 4-gate blink, normally you would push a little bit harder. Now, you can tell I'm struggling to stay on the APM limit here. Like, it's definitely a little bit hard. You know, I'm kind of worried. If I play games after this, what if I start playing slow? You know, what if I lost all my speed trying to mimic a low APM playing style? That would be unfortunate. Now, let's do a scan so we can make more. Okay, so he's most likely playing... It could be Storm. It could also just be Mass Zealots. Let's see, I have a bunch of Widow Mines. Just like the way I hotkeyed Siege Tanks, I'm also going to be hotkeying my Widow Mines here. And we're going to stim a bunch of Marines forward, so I don't have to react to it. I shot a Warp Prism, I guess. I'm not quite sure what it was. I shot something, that's for sure. Let's get this dealt with. Here you go. Make my upgrades as well. Let's see what he has. He has sentries here, so I can't really push forward. Oh, he's actually giving me the space. That's really nice. There we go. And then I want to burrow my mines. And normally you want to kite here. I'm just going to be taking big fights until I have to retreat. That's the plan here. Let's see. So I'm going to go in here. I have my mines burrowed so they can deal with the zealots. There we go. Oh, those mines are going to do fantastic, I think. It is a lot of zealots, I have to admit. That's going to be hard to deal with. Let me tuck this one over here. So I'm doing a really big amount of damage so far. Let's see. And I've actually held this pretty well, guys, I have to say. Now, does he have too many units? He might. So I'm going to back off a little bit here. Try to resaturate my natural. There we go. And at the same time, trying to stay at a relatively low speed. I do not have a lot of money right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to retreat and try to make more stuff. Now here, fighting this without high APM is really hard. I'm lucky he didn't A move. He's afraid of me kiting, pretty much. But we know I'm not actually allowed to kite here, really, because there's too much APM. So I'm lucky that he retreated there, but he made a very wise decision. Well, let me just go back with my units. Already sent a few units into the third base already, so if he warps in there, I will be able to clear it up. Resaturate that main base. And all in all, we held that very well. I think I even have my double E-base up. And we are doing a surprisingly good job against this mid-Grandmaster player. Now, one thing that sucks is I would love to Widow Mine drop, but that might be a little bit too APM intense. Oh, that's nice for us. We're going to kill the Prism here, most likely. There we go. And now I would like to make Ghosts as well, because that is really the finishing touch here. Ooh, let's see if I can save that. There we go. Gonna save these as well. Like, I'm pretty much just going to be A-moving in here. I don't think he has enough force fields, actually, so that is really nice for us. You guys can go here. Try to burrow these Widow Mines without spending too much APM. Just retreating here should be alright. Maybe go back to the bunkers for a little bit. There we go. Let's see, how many SCVs do I have left? 7 here, too many. I can send those back. Probably like 11 too many or something over there. Let's see how many it was. No, it was... or was it actually 11? I'm not 100% sure. It looked like it could have been 11. Now, he could have had another base this entire time. I feel like he had a lot of units for the amount of bases that he had. So let me just get some Ghost up. And that's going to be my third timing attack, trying to go with Ghost here. Get these guys back in the gas. Maybe another gas here. There we go. And at this point, I wonder if you guys can guess what my average APM is. I have not been looking at the counter. I definitely saw it go above a bunch of times. I would imagine that it's the highest so far because my opponent has been putting on so much pressure. But yeah, who knows really. If I'm anywhere close to the other ones, I'm going to be pretty excited. Let me fix my rally a little bit here. I did kill the prison, which is huge, of course. Let's see, I can reinforce this mineral line. My third actually has enough... No, oh, he does have 2-2, by the way. Do I have 2-2? Well, I'm actually getting it, okay. I thought I forgot it for a bit, but I actually do have it, so that's nice. Let's see. So he does have that base. I mean, I can definitely not attack before 2-2. That would just be suicide. Especially with me not really being allowed to micro here, right? Maybe there's an observer here? Or is it here? I probably should have checked before scanning. But it's going to be alright anyway. Kill these rocks. I'm going to hotkey my Widow Mines, or my Ghost rather. And I'm actually going to hotkey my Widow Mines as well. There we go. And I'm basically going to try to win it with a big A move. I'm a little bit afraid of like storms or so. I feel like storms are a pretty reasonable thing to expect. Let's see. Burrow those here. Now, I don't want to use all of my EMPs. Ah, there's a prism, so we're going to have to pre-split a little bit. If we don't want to spend too much APM. I mean, I'm already using them in front here, so there's that. I'm gonna just EMP, maybe like force him to attack into me. There we go. Back off with this part. And you see, I already have a nice concave here. So I can fight this without doing too much micro. Do another EMP on those Immortals. And I think that's gonna go really well for it. Did he warp in? I thought I heard the sound of him warping in. Let me back off to the Widow Mines here. There we go. An EMP. Pull the mic. Using a little bit too much micro here, looks like. But I think we're doing quite good in the fight anyway. Now it's time to get a fourth base in the back. And burrowing those Widow Mines would be very good. Let's try to back off because it's not an easy fight anymore. And I'm just gonna load up and go back home. It was a pretty decent fight, but not quite the fight we needed to end the game. So that's unfortunate, but I still think it was probably good enough. Now let me... I did forget the EMP upgrade. Let me get that one. Okay. I have more than enough units here, so that's going to be totally fine. I'm not sure why those SCVs were on A move, actually. That was a little bit weird, but... So one tip I can give you guys against these, like, heavy Zealot compositions is that you can just make extra Ghosts. Normally, Ghosts are super expensive. But if you play against someone who makes that many, it's actually pretty good to just make a bunch of Ghosts, because then you can snipe them. Now, if I use rapid fire snipe, my APM would skyrocket. Oh, he does have actually really good upgrades, by the way. My APM would skyrocket, but realistically, it doesn't take a lot of speed. So it's kind of hard to decide whether I want to do it or not. Because a rapid fire snipe, you basically just hold R, which is for snipe, and then you just go over all the zealots. Now here, I'm just going to try to kill all these units for free. He might recall them, but I should get a lot of units for free here. That's basically 7 zealots. Now, the 3-3 is definitely scary. It means his army is going to be super strong compared to mine. I imagine he has this... Oh, he actually didn't have it saturated all the time. Alright, now let's maybe send out a scout here. Try to go to the top left. I see him playing way too fast for a little bit again. So let me try to tone it down. I do hope I really don't get above the 250. Else, you know, I mentioned I wouldn't count the game for myself. But I do think it's actually a really awesome game. Also, he does have 5 bases. Oof. This is going to be a rough one to win. I think my best way to win this is to sit back for a little bit, because I kind of think he's maxed out. Get like a really big army so I can win in one big engagement without spending too much APM. And then, yeah, winning the game like that. Let me get 2 gases up. And since I don't have defenses on my third base, I should move back here. Now, this is actually a thing that makes games a lot easier too. It is the sensor towers. Sensor towers are actually incredibly useful, very underused. I think I've mentioned it a few times in videos, but sensor towers are super underused. Everyone should make sensor towers at their third at an appropriate time. This game I even could have made it a little bit faster, but... Now, I keep scanning because I want to know if there's like... There's no real tech yet, right? Like, there's no Colossus or anything like that. I'm also not getting my +3 attack because I think it's a little bit too expensive. And also, if the game gets to disruptors and stuff, it's going to be a little bit too difficult to win that out with low APM. So, yeah. Wait, why is the third not building? So I'm going to try to kill him before I get to a point where I need to make 3-3. Now, I did actually get my EMP upgrade. Maybe I can move out a little bit just to see. I'm afraid that as soon as I snipe... Oh, he does have Colossus now. Okay, so I'm going to make some Vikings at this point. I could even get a second starport here. I have enough money, I think, so... Maybe I could get Cloak even, thinking about it, for the Ghost. Let's see. Get my Cloak upgrade here. Maybe if he doesn't have a Stargate, I believe, so... If I... I need to go back for that. Let me unburrow these mines real quick. Maybe get like a nice EMP off. Not the best EMP ever, but still quite good. Now, he might attack me on the other side instead, so I need to be careful for that. Let's get the bunker back up. And see how that bunker basically saved my ass there, because I was able to just... you know, I didn't lose any SCVs, I just lost the position for a bit and that's it. Now, I can decide to hunt this down. Yeah, I was gonna say, he's probably gonna attack me on this side. Now, let's see what I have here. And I'm actually gonna kill the army on the right, or the left side, which is awesome. I did use a lot of medevacs for it, which is probably unnecessary, but it is what it is. Now let's get back into this bunker. Get my next base going. Make a few gases and stuff. There we go. I do feel like his army, like he has better upgrades than me. If that wasn't the case, his army would be very A-movable. And I say that because he doesn't have disruptors. And I'm also not quite sure where the storm is. Just throw down a few EMPs. If he was to fight in my planetary, that would be insane for me, so I definitely don't mind that. Oh, there's DTs here now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to split my army off a little bit for that. Let's see. Then EMP on those. Oh. Back this off, try to not play too fast. But it is really hard when you're in a multitasking position like this, for sure. The best thing I can do is just keep rebuilding this static defense. I have 1 million ghosts, which is either going to be insane or absolutely not. But yeah, he's definitely abusing my lack of speed. At this point, I really wonder if he knows that I'm going for a low APM challenge already. Like, he must know something is up, right? But I'm not sure if he knows exactly what's going on here. Get some EMPs. Ooh. Don't want to lose these ghosts here. I think maybe it's time for me to just go for a massive attack through the middle. Maybe my best shot here. Let's see. Cover some EMPs. And I can pretty much just A-move this at this point, I think. Because I have so many bio units following. I was going here with Zealots, but Zealots probably not going to be enough to kill this. Let's see. Still just A-moving there. Now, I can't really kill this DT army if it's not next to my planetary, so that's a little bit of a shame. Let's get the repair going again. Okay, let's back off for a little bit, so we can fight more efficiently. Oh, he did actually get it. Let's go over to this base. I mean, I only have 1 army left, which is going to make this so difficult here. But maybe it's an army I can win the game with, who knows. Oh, the Vikings landing was actually pretty sick. Okay, so we killed this base. Let's see if I can move on to the next one and get that going as well. Yeah, I actually have no money, so I cannot defend anything, really. Let's see. Try to kill this base as well. A little bit of a... Well, I can't really split, so I'll just use running away instead. I do need to get on top of that before he gets too many disruptors, else I just can't deal with it, basically. Let's see if I can... Oh. I sniped a few zealots there. Let's back off these ghosts. Keep in mind I still have the Vikings, right? So that's going to be super useful here. He has another shot, so I need to be careful. Okay. Oh, my ghost actually died. Oh, that's actually nice. I landed a Viking on accident, honestly, but it's going to help me to... Let's see if I can do some snipes here. You see the APM at the 500. Okay, that's what I thought. Just because I used the rapid fire snipes. That is funny. Let's cloak these. Oh, gotta run away. A little bit of a split. Nothing too crazy, of course. All of you can do that, right, guys? Oh, my cloak is actually doing really well here. That is fantastic. This actually might become a close game in the end. Though I'm definitely way over the APM limit, I want to guess. I'm not 100% sure if it's the case, but I feel like at this point we probably must be. I do know he has the base on the right side as well. Let's see, so my cloak dose did clear it up. Let's try to get these gases saturated. I'm basically making sure he doesn't have mining here with these Vikings. I think he saved the disruptor. I'm not actually sure if he did, but I'm pretty sure he did actually save that disruptor. Let's see. I'm still not convinced that he has an observer. Yeah, he doesn't have an observer. Oh, that is rough. That's actually sick. And these might be his only robos, guys. That'd be crazy. The cloak coming in handy massively. Let's see. I'm not going to use the rapid fire snipes anymore because it spiked me up to 500 APM, so I'm definitely not going to be using that. He has a cannon there in the back. Let me do some splitting. Okay, I don't think his disruptor killed that much. And he's gonna lose. I think this might be his last probes here, actually. Let's try to get rid of that pylon. There we go. Let's see, what's my APM? 184. Oof, that is a lot. Let's try to get a base up on the other side. So does he have the disruptor or not? I'm not 100% sure he doesn't. I think at this point we're looks like we're pretty close to actually doing this. Oh, he still has the disruptor, right? I don't think I killed it just now. Yeah, there it is. Let me just kill the robo. Try to resaturate this base here. At the same time, I'm attacking on the left side. Ooh. Yeah, actually, I don't think I can kill that Zealot. No, I can actually. Okay. It looked like the Zealot was going to be too strong. I'm actually surprised my SCVs managed to do that so convincingly. Let's see. Let's kill this. Oh, I should have sniped it. That's a mistake. There we go. And all we have to do is run away from the... Oh, actually, I don't have a scan here. I need to save a scan so I can actually detect the observer, right? If I can't detect the observer, my entire strategy here is kind of screwed a little bit. Well, let me just run away from that. There you go. This DT, I expected it. Oh, watch this. He's gonna lose the most important unit here, which is the disruptor. He's making an observer there, but it's not gonna finish, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure where he recalled to actually, but is there another thing in my base? Oh. Oh, barely didn't get the snipe off. That's unfortunate. Okay. So I guess he's just chilling on the left side base. Let me try to... Maybe I can kill this thing now. There we go. And I killed his last disruptor. Did he? Oh, he does still have the robo base, so he can totally make more of those. That's a little bit of a shame. Gonna get another base up here. Okay. This is not enough to kill this PO. That's just a few units. That's not gonna be enough here. Let me kill this last Colossus. There we go. Ghosts are actually pretty sick, aren't they? I thought you guys would be a sick move. But wait, is there an observer? Oh, there's an observer. I was trying to find it. There we go. Does look like we have enough here, though, even in the green battery. So that is fantastic. And we have done it. Now, I'm really afraid to click the APM key, guys. I'm really afraid. If it's above 150, I have technically failed. And I feel like it's probably above 150, because I was doing a lot. 148, let's go! I know it's not the 125 we were aiming for, but I did say at the start of the episode, if we are below 150, it's acceptable. Above 150, I will cancel. The game doesn't count. We were at 148. I do realize that is faster than the goal. Still pretty happy with it. I feel like I really struggled with defending all the stuff as I was trying to slow down. But this is a pretty high Grandmaster. That's a mid Grandmaster on the NA server. That is fantastic. And now we beat him. I'm going to ask him if he realized what challenge I was doing. And then we're going to try to challenge an NA Pro. Let's do it. So for the last game, we're going to be playing against Vindicta, possibly the best NA Terran. And I really like this match in particular because if you guys don't know who Vindicta is, one of his strengths is just his APM. He is one of the highest APM players. I've seen him play at 500 APM before. So for this game, we're going to be trying to beat a 500 APM pro playing at, you know, max 150, ideally more of 100. And to be honest, guys, this game, we are most likely going to get destroyed really hard. You might remember him from my video. He's the player who beat me when I was doing Marine only. He was the one who beat me with the Battlecruiser. I think he's about 6.2k MMR right now. So yeah, this is going to be an incredible challenge. I'm trying to think of a build where I can at least survive with. Because because most likely he will attack me early on. I know he likes to be aggressive in the early game. He's overall a very good late game player, but he does really like to be aggressive in the early game, so we'll see. Now, this is going to be the final challenge. If I win this one, I'm retiring, guys. That's it, you know. Now, by the way, I have to tell you guys, this is already the next day. I wasn't able to find a pro player to play against me on the first day. Vindicta himself wasn't available. So, I guess I had a day of rest, which means I'm either going to be very rusty or very relaxed. I guess we'll find out. Now, I'm just going to do a regular scout. Because he is a top-level player, I will be able to read his... at least his opening, most likely just from sending my SCV to his wall and then coming back. Like, there's going to be nothing weird about it, I'm pretty sure. Let's already queue this up. I do this a little bit too much, I guess. You see how the APM keeps spiking just because I'm selecting and jumping around? That's actually something I'm definitely doing too much. It's just automatic, really. And it's, yeah, I wish I wouldn't do it, but, you know, gotta play decently at least. Okay, so he's gonna wall off. That is actually a little bit scary, because the wall off could mean that he's going for 2 racks Reaper, and that is one of those super, you know, APM intensive builds to deal with, so I hope it's just a normal double gas. I'm gonna follow it up by making a reactor. This game I actually want to try a little bit of an attack. I think it could be good for me to try an attack here, just to see how it works out for me. I think in the last game against the Protoss, the attacking style was actually decent. The only thing I can't really do is too much micro, which is rough. But even with low APM, you can definitely make, how do you say this, decisive decisions. So instead of like microing back and forth, you can just pull your army back at once when you know, have decided the fight is lost, instead of trying to get as much out of it as you can. That is a totally fine way to go about it. So, see. You can tell here, this guy, I think some of you at the start of this episode may have doubted me when I said it's hard to go below 100 APM. But you can see whenever I'm just like really doing a bunch of normal stuff like there, I shift click my thing back and I think I cut some SCVs off gas and it was already almost 200 APM. So now you guys know, it's truly a struggle, guys. I know for a lot of you guys it might be hard to get above 100, but for me it is definitely an enormous struggle to stay below. Now, how can I position these units properly so I don't have to move them later on? That is the question. I think I'll just... actually, I'll keep these Reapers here. This is actually a scam, by the way. I'm not sure if I've told you guys, but this is a scam. This looks like a Reaper jump cliff, but you actually cannot jump up here. So I don't know why. I've actually lost a lot of Reapers because I thought I would be able to. But yeah, I actually don't have to defend it. So that I guess in this case is very nice for us. Let's get a gas up here. You see, I'm already spiking up to 150 a little bit. I'm trying to keep it slow. I wonder if I did like a bunch of practice, if I would get used to how fast I'm allowed to make the actions. Because right now I'm definitely holding back a lot. Like, I'm really doing everything, I would say, probably about 2 or 3 times as slow as I would normally do. And I think if I would practice a bit, I would probably get used to how fast I can actually make the actions. If you guys would actually like to see another video like this, make sure to let me know. I can do some different versions as well. You know, see how... you know, what we can get away with. Maybe I could do a challenge where I actually let my opponent know what my challenge is, right? That could also be pretty fun. Okay. I'm just gonna try to keep moving these SCVs instead of... and then I'm just gonna go back at this point. Kill the Reaper. Oh, I definitely went way above the threshold there. Just by, you know, clicking my Reapers to the SCVs once and running away, I guess, at the same time, targeting the Reaper, that brought me to about 250 APM, so that was definitely over the limit already. I wonder if you guys have, like, been frustrated watching this, or have enjoying watching me struggle, because it's, you know... I feel like usually it looks easy for me to play, but now it's definitely hard, and I think it'd either be frustrating for you guys to see my APM jump way too high all the time, or if it's actually been funny. Can't wait to read the comments on this one. It's gonna be great. Now I feel like when it comes to the macro, I've actually gotten a pretty decent rhythm. Like by slowing down my speed a little bit, I say as it jumps to 200. Oh, that's actually always playing triple cyclone. Oh, that's gonna be really hard to deal with here. Oh, I did make a cyclone of my own, luckily. Let's try to get this one going. I'll drop a turret here just to, like, stay alive, basically. Now, the Banshee is here. Without the tank, I don't think I'm going to be able to deal with that. You see, he's already going for a lot of harassment. Here we go, and now I got my cyclone on the way. Make sure to save the ravens if I can. Didn't manage to save them both, sadly. But I am gonna kill the Banshee. You see, I'm really limiting my speed here, and it's so hard to deal with this stuff. I have actually got on my rhythm, by the way. I feel like I'm doing way better than the first game, because instead of just like AFKing the screen all the time, I'm actually pressing the buttons slower, which is really helping. But even then, it's really difficult. Now, do I need more? Yeah, I did lose one Raven, which is really tough. I think my best way to win this game is to do a similar approach to what I have been doing, where I just try to get a really good decisive tank push through the middle. Or not necessarily through the middle, but just like find a good position. Now, I don't think usually I got a third base this fast, so I guess that is probably an improvement. There we go. Okay, get my second factory up, and then I'm gonna try... Even though I have a third base, I really want to win this with some kind of damage. I'm gonna get an eBay as well. eBay actually very smart here, because that's just gonna save me APM in dealing with stuff, right? Just having the eBay is definitely gonna help me out a lot. Maybe we could do a scan here, see what's going on. Okay, so we're playing against Mech. Looks like that is gonna be Speed Banshees. Oh, that is actually... It makes me wonder if he knows what I'm doing, because I did tell him about this challenge a long time ago. So I wonder if he actually knows what I'm doing to play Speed Banshees. That really feels like something you would do to abuse a slow player, right? So that's a bit of a rough one. I have very little SCVs here, actually. I didn't even notice. There we go. Let's fix that up. I'm trying to get turrets everywhere, so I don't get destroyed by Speed Banshees, or more like picked apart. Let me hotkey these together. There we go. Some more mules. I could probably get 2 turrets per mineral line. Maybe like 1 in the production or something as well. That'd probably help. What else could it be? I guess you could be playing Mass Raven, you know, Euthermal style, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe getting like turret range could be pretty good as well. Oh yeah, I need to cover the front a little bit more. I just realized I only have. I mean, I don't care about this bunker, but I just don't want him to be able to kill my tank for free. That's the biggest thing. Now, what's gonna suck here for me is that dealing with this army, you can actually deal with it perfectly fine. But it's very APM intensive, because you're gonna have to like keep leapfrogging forward all the time, right? And that is something I probably cannot afford with the APM. I can't imagine how long it would take me to leapfrog about, you know, across the map, trying to limit myself in the APM. Like, if I would ever be able to... If I could walk across this map and get a siege position, there would actually be potential to win this game. Because he's most likely doesn't have that many tanks yet, I would guess. Oh, never mind. He's already... He has 3 tanks. Okay. Well, I mean, my army is bigger. The problem is that the cyclones will just rupture my my tank count. You see what he's doing by... He split off another unit for vision there. That's what the top players will always do. Oh, he has a lot of banshees. Yeah, I gotta go back for that. Okay, we'll go back. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I didn't expect him to burst down the turret like that, actually. It's definitely rough. Okay. Oh, this is actually pretty decent for me, I think. Yeah, probably gonna kill 1 or 2. There we go. Okay, nice. And now we can focus on advancing forward again. This is what you're witnessing right here now. That is the true struggle of playing with low APM. Is that you're never able to like attack and defend at the same time. You know, that is really the true struggle here. At the same time, he's expanding, keeping map control, harassing me. He's probably playing over... Actually, we can compare the APMs at the end. He's probably playing with over 400 APM here, I would guess. Oh, watch this. This could be sick. Oh, he saw me just in time. Yeah, I thought I was going to get a hit off there. Nice. Oh, no. I thought I would be able to outtrade. Oopsie. Now, can we sneak by? Maybe I can get a big siege here. No. He's too fast. It's annoying me, guys. I can't really deal with this Banshee at the same time. Let's try to get a bunch of stuff up here. I'm gonna lose a few Vikings, but that is not the worst thing that could have happened, really. Ooh. One. How about you attack me? I wish you would just attack it to my army. Make this game a little bit easier for me, but it's... Oh, wait. This accidental tank is actually gonna pop off a little bit. Yeah, this looks like a decent fight. Let's try to get some matrices off. There we go. Looks like quite a good fight, actually. Dealing with this thing in the main has been difficult, for sure. Let's try to get a good siege position. No, it's not worth using the Matrix here, I think. I'll just let my my tanks die, basically, and that's it. Oh, I do need to run away with this one. Not sure if I can actually get the CC out of there, but I'm gonna try my best. His army here is quite small. I would expect him to maybe be making some more starports now. If he's not doing that, this could actually be a really good attack here for us. Oh, need to be careful for those. I didn't lose my base, which is better than I expected. I really thought I was gonna... You see, I already made a backup base. I really thought I was gonna lose that one there. Okay, siege tanks forward again. But this time with my own base. Let's see, I have some spare SCVs here. You can mine there. There you go. I mean, overall, I would say it's looking alright. Oh, wait, he's gonna let me siege his main base here, guys. That's actually massive. I'm gonna be able to get a... Actually, this is sick. What the hell? I really didn't think he was gonna give all the position like that. Oh, can we? Ah, there we go. Look at that interference rate. It was beautiful. Okay. He's counterattacking with a lot. I have a lot of siege tanks here, though. Okay. I think it might be time to make some liberators here. Maybe make another CC as well. Oh, need to be careful for the cyclones. There we go. I'm actually not quite sure. I think I'm definitely playing above 100 APM. I'm not sure if I'm playing faster than I did in the last game, though. If I played slower than I did in the last game, that would already be a pretty big win. Though in all fairness, it's definitely easier if you're playing mech like this compared to like the bio against Protoss, right? Definitely a little bit of a difference there. Just throw a scan down. He doesn't really have a lot of production anymore. That's pretty sick. Now my liberators are gonna come online as well. Okay. I think the tanks were like right here or so, I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those. That's nice. I can actually do a little bit of a simple... Wait, why is it not on sieging? Okay. That seemed actually like a bug. There we go. We're just gonna kill one tank like that. That's very nice. He did move his stuff. I have another CC ready to go. Should probably get that sieged over here. And maybe it's time to make some more starports as well, I think. Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid for like a mass air kind of transition, you know? Like, I don't know if I would be able to deal with it very well. There we go. See if I have any units available. I do have, or SCVs rather. I do have some SCVs. I think I lost a few. Oh, only have 58. That's very little. I just held S for a second. I saw it spike up to 200 APM. I guess that is what happens. He probably has units here. Yeah, I knew he was... accidental snipe? That was actually completely on accident. We'll take it, guys. We'll take it. Okay. Did I make my starports? I do think I made some starports, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. So I'm just going to use this as my second army over here. Try to go over to the left side. Push that as well. Like, I feel like he has less than I would expect, and that's why I'm so suspicious. Oh, he might be attacking here. Okay. Good thing I have these two tanks here. Ah, he has this base. Okay. Well, I can probably siege this tank. And then siege that one as well. I mean, his production is obviously very small at this point, right? But he might have a starport somewhere still. So, I'm just gonna keep these here. The Cyclones are super good in the late game, by the way. If you guys didn't know. Cyclones not very good in the mid game if you have this many tanks. But at some point, you're gonna have to, like, transition to air. And then the Cyclones counter the air again. So that's a really big problem here. Now, it would look like we're actually ahead in this game. I wasn't sure about it all this time, but now I'm starting to feel like we're actually... I kept expecting something to pop up, but I haven't really seen much. Oh, this is a good move here. Oh, that's a rough one. No, I actually haven't too many siege tanks for this, I think. That is going to be a very inefficient trade. Let's go. I definitely went over the APM limit on that. That is my bad. Let's see. I'm actually going to retreat from this, I believe, yeah. It's probably for the best. Does he have this base still? He doesn't. Now, how can I deal with this? I think I'm actually going to siege there. And then patrol this over here. Oh, that's not a planetary. Oh, crap. That sucks a little bit. Let's see. Oh, a little bit of a miss micro here by me. That's an understatement, probably. Yeah, there are the Vikings that we were expecting all this time. Oh, and he has a Liberator too. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to run away with these. Try to resaturate this base over here. I would still guess that we're up in supply. Actually, oh, I have more areas than I thought. That's fantastic. I don't have any SCVs though. You know, I feel like I killed way more eco than he did. But he might still have way more economy than me. Like, this is not... this does not feel fantastic. For getting 49 SCVs, that's a little bit rough. I guess I can cancel that one. Actually, I do have a lot of saturation here at this base. Let's see, what does he have now? Yeah, my army looks way bigger here. Wait, there's actually no way we're gonna win this game though, right, guys? Absolutely no way. Wait, this looks like a 6 siege. Guys? Oh, huge. Does he have cyclones? Oh, there are actually cyclones. I'll just matrix them. There we go. I have so many freaking siege tanks though. It's actually insane how many siege tanks I have. Like, actually absurd. Oh, I wasn't able to get that trade. I guess it's time for me to make some liberators now to try and break this. How many tanks is this? I have 25 siege tanks, guys. I actually have 25 siege tanks here. That is insane. Okay. Let's try to siege this stop base. I mean, you don't really need more than a few siege tanks at a base because, like, people don't want to attack into it anyway. Probably can't repair that, but I'm gonna try. Ooh. We're gonna get a sick position here, guys. There we go. Oh. One big shot is gonna be nice. Let's see. Oh, maybe I can actually flank this here. Or am I the one being flanked? It kind of feels like it, because he attacked into me. Oh, we actually did it! What? Guys. Okay, now let's see if we actually did it, right? Because if my APM is over 150, then we have failed. 132! Alright, guys. 132 against 417 APM. We beat a Pro Terran, perhaps the best NA Terran with 132 APM. A little bit higher, lower than last game, which is actually sick. A little bit higher than I wanted to. My goal was really to be 100 to 125, but we have actually done it. That is insane. To be fair, guys, I'm not gonna lie. If we play him again, we will probably lose 5 times in a row. Like, this was really... it just all came together to me. He let me push through the middle to this base. I got the position, and from that point on, I think I actually had a decent lead. Let me see what the supplies were after, like, this first push. Oh, actually, this was maybe the biggest mistake. Just to recap, because I pushed this base, right? And this position was really good. Like, if you look at it here, APM 127, I'm very close to the rules. My army is way better. But then, he moved all these tanks out of the way, and it allowed me to siege this. And after this, I feel like he never got the control back of the game, because all these tech labs are dying. You know, he can't build anything here. Another factory dead. At this point, his production is 3 factories without add-ons. Like, at this point, he has absolutely nothing. I think if he kept this position, it would have been a very tough game, because I would have to multitask more. Like, it's really about the stress that's on my actions per minute, right? I would have to multitask more. But here, I feel like I AFK'd my siege tanks in this position for, like, the rest of the game. Like, I don't need... These things are going to move a little bit. Like, I move them here, you know... but for the rest of the game, I think they're pretty much just going to stay here. And that made the game really easy for me, because I just have the control over this entire right side. And I can only focus on the left, guys. This is way better than I could have ever expected. I know I went a little bit over the APM limit sometimes. This game, I was barely above 125. In the Protoss game, I was, like, I think 23. I think I had 148 APM, to 23 above 125. But I'm still very happy with this. Hope you guys really enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys want to see next time, if you've seen another version of this. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time. Adios.